perplexed about
Mhm.
the profit potential of
Mhm.
renewable energy. And when I say that, I mean that, in India, it was relatively easy over a period of time to
Mhm.
understand, because of the way PPAs were structured,
Mhm.
etc., what conventional energy meant in
Mhm.
terms of profitability. Yes, of course, there was the discom problem and all of
Mhm.
that, and then, dues to
Mhm.
generators. But in renewable energy, it's been very difficult to assess whether renewable energy companies are genuinely profitable or have scope to be on the path to
Mhm.
profitability. I'm not talking specifically Renew.
Mhm.
Can you talk us through how you
Yeah.
see this pan out?
Yeah. Sure.
What
Look.
is the
Yeah.
best way an investor should be
Yeah.
looking at this?
So look, I think in renewable energy, it's very easy to make wrong choices and make wrong bets and get into large investments that ultimately do not yield more than cost of capital, and in fact may yield below cost of capital. Having said that, at the same time, you have to keep in mind that renewable energy ultimately is an infrastructure business
Right.
which creates hard assets. And in those kinds of businesses, you don't make 40-50% returns. You make maybe 16, 17, maybe 20% returns if you're very lucky and if you execute very well. And if you don't execute well, maybe you'll make less than 10%. So I think that's really the range within which most companies will tend to operate. And if cost of capital in India is, let's say, 11 or 12%, then you could be either higher or lower depending on how well you execute. For capital providers, the trick is to find out the people who are able to be relatively disciplined about making these investments, not getting carried away in bidding aggressively low numbers just to win capacity. So I think that is the sensibility or the sense that people have to look for in people who are investing in the sector.
But we have seen over the last 2 or 3 years very aggressive bidding when it comes to solar power
Yeah,
projects, as a result of which the pricing of power in these
yeah,
projects has come down to rock bottom. It's also led to some states then, reneging on previous contracts, etc.
yeah,
So I think my concern here is uh, in some ways, will this go the way of conventional energy? We had that PPA problem
yeah,
occur, several years ago
yeah,
in conventional energy. And B, are these
yeah,
prices of solar power
yeah.
viable?
As I said, there is a very thin margin between making decent returns and making below cost of capital
So
returns.
we're at about $2 now.
No, we are actually a little bit higher than that because now GST has been increased on solar,
Okay,
and because we now have also a customs duty on import of solar modules,
right.
and inherently solar module prices globally have gone up. So actually now rates are between 230 and 250, something in
But the
that range.
last bids were
Yeah.
at
No,
230 and
there,
230. They were
yeah,
even
yeah.
lower than two in some
No,
cases,
there
right?
was only one bid that went down to 199,
Correct.
but that was a while ago. Since then, GST has come in and this customs duty has come in as well. And so, therefore, tariffs have actually gone up somewhat. But, the kind of reduction that you saw earlier, I think that is going to be a little bit tough to replicate because commodity prices have just gone up across the board.
Right.
And even for wind, in fact, and actually for all energy. So I think you'll see renewable energy prices go up a little bit as well.
So you're saying that bids will come back to some form of viable level for projects to sustain over a
No,
period
but a
of
higher
time.
tariff doesn't mean more viability, right? Because it's ultimately a question
Cost
of
of
tariff
capital.
versus the
Cost
cost
of
of capital
capital.
and the capex itself, right?
Right.
So if the capex itself has gone up, so to me, the
But a
tariff
lower
itself,
tariff is a
not
negative
necessarily,
starting point.
no,
No,
not
it
necessarily. It
isn't.
depends on
Okay.
where the capex and the module prices are.
Okay.
So by itself, a lower tariff or a higher tariff does not guarantee returns, right? It's a question of what the total cost of the project is.
Okay.
So it's really, and that changes over time. So you just have to see what the numbers are at that time. And some people, against whatever should have been the tariff, some people might bid aggressively and get the tariff to less than that.
Okay. So you're seeing tariff bids now at 230 and above.
That's right.
That's
That's
where
right.
you
But
expect
again, that doesn't
prices
mean
to
that people
settle.
are not being aggressive. It's just that the cost has gone
I
up.
get it.
Yeah.
GST,
Yeah.
etc.,
Yeah.
customs duty.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you're now seeing bids at 230 and above
That's right.
as a result of these higher
Yes.
costs, and you
Yes.
expect that they will continue to escalate.
Not
Because what does it
necessarily.
mean for
Not
grid power
necessarily.
then?
Not necessarily. No, it doesn't mean anything because see, look, coal-based power. Keep in mind that coal prices have also gone up to double of what they
Yes.
were earlier, right?
Yes.
So all energy prices
But
have gone
we
up.
have, I know we are currently facing a shortage,
Yeah,
but we are the second largest reserve of coal, right?
I know, but
So,
mining it and getting it out of the ground is very hard. So in the short term, you have to import to meet temporary shortfalls,
yes.
and that is therefore higher cost. And that's why there's this whole question of blending and all of that that is being discussed, which is really a way of saying, look, let everybody bear the extra input, higher input cost, right? Um, So look, energy prices globally have gone up. There is inflation, right? That's very clear. So it is also therefore a given that solar and wind prices or renewable energy prices will also go up. But the relative differential with other energy sources is still as much as it was earlier. So there's still much commercially better options for people, especially because prices are fixed for 25 years.